A new initiative is in place for footballers. The Bermuda Football Association President Mark Wade announced a Bermuda International Football Festival slated for the National Sports Center on April 29th.
Definitely happy to be here and happy to be a part of something very positive in football. As you will know, there are numerous negative things that are talked about football and footballers and our young men in particular. And here we have a positive venture that's going to put our football in a very positive light, and we're looking forward to partnering with the Bermuda Football Festival to have our All-Star matches and some other initiatives that they are planning. And the BFA is fully supportive of this initiative. Mr. Richardson did come into our executive council meeting and made a very good presentation to us, and the council was ready to go within 30 seconds of Mr. Richardson talking. So fast forward to today, and we have this very positive announcement.
But I want to basically go and give you some of the items that we gave the BFA, so that these are some of the objectives. We said we're proposing an event that will fulfill the following objectives. 1, create a signature event that will come under the umbrella of the BFA, and therefore we ask them to sanction it. 2, celebrate and acknowledge persons who have been involved with the BFA at the national team level and persons who have made outstanding contributions to the game of football in Bermuda or in the name of Bermuda. 3, galvanize the community through an exciting event featuring our players in a positive and invigorating session. 4, raise and contribute funds to aid the Gina Spence Productions charity, their Champions program, that takes care and has an amazing program for the children left behind from gun violence and antisocial behavior. And in there, we also said that we want to help build something of a war chest that we can help with the BFA in particular and the clubs on the outside for development, tours, development programs, etc. Now, our overall objective outside of those stated will be to showcase the most popular sport on the island and to build on the necessary and vital work that the BFA continues to do through the various leagues and programs. Now, because I've also, in a little way, been involved in football and the clubs, we know that there are numbers of young people in particular involved and they're reached through this game of football. It is imperative that we now look to leverage that, and that we look to not only have them in this football session, but look at how can we help build character? How can we help identify some of the young people who are at risk? But I want to point out in the release, so that we're not just looking at these at risk, if you wish, we said the newly formed Bermuda International Football Festival has devised this community initiative to reach the island's young men with a view to providing opportunities for those already on the right track, because that's important, yeah, and reaching those young men at risk of falling through the cracks. Yeah, we've been asked, is this just a one-off? No. We're also going to have ongoing programs where we, in the ensuing months and through the summer, will be getting in with the clubs, and we're also going to be helping them to stage little events that will involve their young people in particular. Now, you will see in the background piece a number of things, but I will highlight first our team. I chair it. Also, we have Clyde Best, who is off in Florida right now. We have Charlie Marshall, former First Hall of Famer, former referee extraordinaire, businessman, former legislator, I recall. And I won't say the other former things. But Charlie is still involved in the community, still raising funds also to help the community. And the director for our project and on the team is Mervyn Grant. We have also included Troy Harvey, who is in the BFA youth program. We have David Bascom, who's going to bring a North American flair to us. And I did mention Sean Goda, who's on the line right now. Sean, are you with me? Or did you disappear?
I'm still here.
All right. I want to make sure, and before either something happens with technology or Sean has to go coach a team that I understand is not doing too badly. But Sean, perhaps from yourself, I remember when we had an initial talk, as was the case with Charlie Marshall and Best, you really said, I'm on board. Yeah? I think they can hear you. Tell us why.
Well, I think this is an absolutely fascinating project and long needed. And the great thing about it is actually bringing all parts of the community. It's again, giving the opportunities for at-risk kids, but it's getting them amongst the community. I think of the Rugby Classic, and I think that's an exceptional event. I think this is something that can be very similar, but also can address or reach the community at large, and that's the most fascinating thing for me. And as we went into a bit more detail, and the connections that I have here can highlight and add to the program in terms of the elite level of individuals that we look to bring over throughout the course of the future.
Yeah, and I think I can let on right now that we are looking in the second year to really take it to an international event, and we're looking to have 7-a-side involving a Bermuda team also, and at least 5 other countries. And you, Clyde, David, will be assisting us on that level. We're thinking right now of a team from the UK, the US, Portugal. We're going to go a little further in Europe because we've already made certain connections. But tell us, Sean, about an exciting prospect as one of 3 sort of players that you will bring in with you for this event.
Well, yes. This John Barnes is on the list for having contacts and talks with him, along with Dwight York, and also Andy Curl. So these 3 are the 3 I've just had some brief conversations, and they're really at this moment in time they're exciting, and we're just trying to look at the schedule. There's only be one of them, but I've had to hit up at least 3 to try to ensure that we get one of them. Other names that I'm connected with, British Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler. I've done a few things with Robbie Fowler, so there's a huge list of network connections that I have that can really add, again, the elite level that we're looking for the project.
Yeah, indeed. And we've said that we want to build this for the future, and we point out that the idea is reaching our young people through sport. And I've said to our media friends that we want to build the best event possible in the footprint of something like the Rugby Classic and others, so that we do create the excitement and provide the opportunities for those who are succeeding. So, yeah. Now, before we let you go, Sean, there's we had you commit to at least one other thing, that as you come down and as we identify 1, possibly 2 youngsters from this all-star game, that you will grab them and we will make sure that they get into at least a week's training at your new endeavor, let's put it that way. and then it's up to them. And of course, there are no promises, but we get them into your program. Talk a little about that before we let you go.
Yeah, I mean, this is another exciting link to it all. That the kids that are spotted, that are looked at by the celebrity guests coming down, was actually invited to Ilkeston Football Club to have a week of training and seeing what the professionals go through. Obviously, I'm the manager, but we're putting through a week of training, and who knows what it can bring for them. Again, with no promises, but it allows them to get off the island and see in a professional environment what exactly it takes, and what all the other youngsters, perhaps in England, are also trying to move on and go beyond, even beyond Ilkeston, obviously, and to higher levels.
Yes, and just to cap that off, you've named off some really exciting folks who are still involved in football at the highest level, and of course come from and go into other jurisdictions and put on clinics, etc. So we're excited, and it is something that we're building, and quite pleased to have you and others of your caliber on board, Sean. And that's the point we make for our young people, for our media colleagues, and for the community. And we're looking for huge support on this as we have a day not just to show the skills, but also to entertain. I'll go briefly for our media friends. We have a freestyle footballer coming in, and that freestyle is going crazy around the world right now. That freestyler will be in before the event, and we'll also go to a couple of schools. We intend to do a little skills competition where some of these kids will show what they've learned, and who knows. We've also had a commitment from the World Freestyle Association with an office in, 12 different countries, that they are looking to come in during our summer months, and they will help foot the bill on this to get into the communities to basically excite our young people in particular, to just give them a little more and put on some competitions. So we're not just doing a one-off, we're doing a series of things, and we'll lead to our next event next year. But first, this one, we want to be a success. Sean, we thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be talking.
Seeing everyone at the end of April.
All right, we'll be talking soon.
Yes, bye.
So we have a freestyler, we have a concert at the end of the day, we have some entertainment in between the events, so that it is entertaining, it is looked at as a festival, and not just an all-star game. We said East versus West or something like that in there, but really it's an all-star game. We have the coaches that we'll get to once the BFA gives us a bit of advice on that. We'd like for our media friends also to help us in publicizing some of those who are selected, because we want to give them their due. And that's a big part of this. Very, very important that we give them their due, in case you want that back. So in here, as I mentioned, there's a short press release. There's some background information. I'd like to call on a gentleman that I sought out immediately when I had the idea, Charlie Marshall, because he is in the community.
When Rick first approached me about this venture, it was quite exciting, because I am a product of sport. If it wasn't for sport, I would not have accomplished what I have accomplished in my life. And for centuries, but for decades, I've been trying to tell my colleagues in the political arena that if they paid more attention to sports and what it contributes to keeping social order in this community, that we would not be where we are today with the gangs and the bad social behavior that we have. But that all begins in the home. So in our day, in my day, I was very fortunate. I had strong parents, and they made sure I towed the line. But not only strong parents, I also had very strong neighbors and people that looked after the youngsters and corrected them when it was necessary, particularly on the football field. And I played like everybody else probably in this room, and when I got my playing days and I started my little businesses, I didn't have the time to train. But I did have the time to be official and to administrate in the field itself, and also in the association, and rose to the top like my president here is now. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice by a lot of people, but a lot of people help you on your way. And I say that really sincerely. If it was not for the people that were around me and controlled my life and made me, I would not be where I am today, and I repeat myself. And I believe that this has an opportunity for our young people to see, and I think a lot of them don't even know that their uncles or their fathers even played in the national teams, or what they accomplished in Bermuda to keep social order in the days of the past. It wasn't easy. I mean, I came out of the era when we were segregated. The whites didn't play with the blacks and so forth and so on. But all of that took place during my era, which all contributed to the success that I and many of other players of the day are, and many of them are businessmen today and are successful because of sport. Finally, we're realizing that sport can bring the community together. Finally, we're spending some money, and the stadium next door should have been completed many years ago, and we wouldn't have all these things that we have now. We're getting our guests from abroad to come here, and when I see the pool and I see the activities going on in the schools and the national stadium, it is a dream come true, not just for me, but many people before, particularly Mr. Donald Lyons, who was the first chairman of the National Sports Center. I would encourage all of Bermuda to come out to this festivity. It's not going to cost you any money, it's just going to cost you time. Come out and socialize with people of Bermuda from all walks of life. You'll see you'll see.
I didn't go on to that, Charlie. Sorry.
Sorry, you had an April 1? Oh, anyhow, well,
you just got to me.
Yes.
You said come out, and I said I didn't even mention the dates.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a little excuse, you know. We're all maturing. These moments happen, you know, and don't you young people don't laugh, because it comes a lot faster than you think. But so we're going to have this great day, and it's going to be a great day next door from here, from the BFA headquarters, and it's going to be a day of family. And it's going to be a day of fun, and it's going to be a day where we as Bermudians can come together, and our guest workers that are here and the tourists that are here, and we have a lot of people here now coming in to use our facilities for sports, to up their achievements and their desires. So I would encourage everyone to come. Bring your family. Food will be available. Music will be available. You'll see some of your old friends that, I regret to say, living on a small island, you look at him and you say, gee, man, I thought you passed on. Gee, I haven't seen you for so long. So you'll enjoy a great day. So I encourage you. I think this is a wonderful idea that Rick and his team has put together. I certainly will be supporting it with anything within my means, and I will be here on the day. Unfortunately, I'll be going away for a week or so, but I'll be back and to support it and make sure that it's successful and that it's a part of our legacy, and it becomes part of our legacy like Cup Match and all the other activities that we have going on.